Furiosa, Mad Max Saga is a prequel to 2015's Mad Max Fury Road and stars Anya Taylor-Joy as a young woman named Furiosa who is hell-bent on revenge for the man who ruined her whole life, Dr. Dementus, played by Chris Hemsworth. In Mad Max fashion, there's a lot of people driving cars all over the place, shooting each other with guns, ramming each other with their cars, and just having a lot of chaotic stuff happen. And there's a lot of that for the about 2.5 hours that this movie contains. It's a slightly more slowed down version of a Mad Max sort of story compared to Fury Road, which was much more fast paced and a slightly shorter runtime with like about 25 minutes shaved off from that, or added on to Fury Road's runtime. I haven't watched all of the Mad Max movies, but I have watched the first one and the second one. I don't remember any of the other ones. And I had just recently watched Fury Road in preparation for this movie, so I wouldn't go in fully blind, even though this is a prequel. But it did actually help, because it does add quite a bit of context to this movie, even though technically it's adding context to Fury Road. But I did like that. I liked the experience that preparation watch added, and it was pretty fun. It's nice that George Miller has been able to direct most of the Mad Max movies, and he's still learning from his craft, doing a good job. Like Fury Road, this movie has that half low budget and half big budget feel, and it's somewhat seamless. It doesn't feel like two puzzle pieces that fit oddly. It's pretty consistent in style. Again, it's a little slower paced than Fury Road, but it still moves along when it needs to, and the action scenes are still pretty good. Nothing feels lackluster in comparison to the previous film. Same thing with performances, set pieces, music, and overall storytelling. Though this movie has more storytelling than Fury Road, arguably. Like, it feels more like a story and not just a series of events kind of moving on, which is not a big problem with Fury Road. I liked it for what it was, even if it felt like it just went by fast. I liked Furiosa's story and enjoyed how it added more to what we got in the last movie. And again, it adds context and makes you feel more sorry for her down the line. Chris Hemsworth also plays a pretty good character with his villain, Dr. Dementus. For the most part, he's like kind of unrecognizable. Like, obviously when I look at his hair and his eyes, it is obvious, but when he's like talking and just doing stuff, he seems like a different person altogether. And that's what I kind of like about villain roles, when someone is doing something that most people couldn't perceive them as doing. There's other great performances. I believe the guy playing Immortan Joe, the bad guy from the last movie, is the same guy. Lockie Hulam. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name, but there he is. There's also newcomer Tom Burke, or at least newcomer character Tom Burke as Jack, and I heard about his character before I went to see the movie because supposedly Hideo Kojima thought that he was the perfect choice for Solid Snake in a Metal Gear movie. And after watching the movie, I kind of agree, mostly from a visual standpoint. His performance is pretty good, but definitely from a visual standpoint because, the motor oil, face makeup that covered like above his eyes really looked like Snake's bandana almost. It was kind of uncanny and I loved it. But yeah, everyone did a good job. Music's pretty good. It doesn't have too much of the guitar parts that were in Fury Road, but I guess that's just because guitar guy wasn't hanging off of a car at this point, so that's slightly disappointing. But you gotta make compromises somewhere. So yeah, overall, I think this movie is really good. There's not really a lot of flaws other than you could say the slower pace kind of feels jarring, at least for this guy here who watched Fury Road like less than an hour before going to see Furiosa. So there's that. Not a lot of problems other than that. I guess it could have moved on a little bit in places, but I get it. They were kind of trying to just build it up till the end. But yeah, I would recommend this movie. I'm kind of disappointed by the fact that apparently this film is not doing too great in the box office because it's actually pretty good. But I guess that's just movies right now, which I hope it doesn't keep going like this, because it seems like there's a lot of movies right now declining in the box office earnings compared to their budgets. So yeah, but yeah, that's disappointing because it's good. I recommend you see it. Is it a theater spectacle? For the most part, yeah. Depends on your cinema tastes, and what you perceive as being worth watching in a theater. Because in a way, Fury Road would be a little bit more than. Like, I can imagine how epic that film would have been in the theater. But I can only just imagine. In terms of a rating, I'm going to give Furiosa an 8.5 out of 10. And that was my review for Furiosa. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what you thought of the movie. And that was my first 0.5 in a movie rating. I was a little torn between an 8 and a 9 for this movie, because I don't know if it's fully better than Fury Road, but I think just a bit. So yeah, I guess there'll be some points in the future where I'll use a 0.5 somewhere else. But that's it for now. Make sure to check out some of my other stuff. I review books as well as movies and TV. Make sure to also like this video if you did actually like it. and maybe subscribe if you want to see some of my other stuff, or just support the channel. Other than that, see you guys next time. Take care.